Parents often hear ADHD and immediately think their child has to be on meds, like the prescription bottle is the whole plan. Hi, I'm Dr. Mona, pediatrician and mom, and here's the kicker. Many parents of kids with ADHD also have ADHD themselves, so juggling appointments, insurance forms, and color-coded charts feels less like smooth sailing and more like I can't even find the sale. So today I want to break this down. We're going to talk about behavior therapy, structure, lifestyle shifts, school support, and yes, when medications fit in, because that's going to be in the third video of this series. Because medication isn't the only solution. It is a part of the support system that can be recommended for a child with ADHD. And if you want another deep dive on parenting a child with ADHD, check out my podcast episode with the Childhood Collective. We really unpack the parenting gold there. Let's get into it. So we talked more about this in video 1 of this series, but here's a quick refresher. ADHD is rooted in brain chemistry, mainly how dopamine and norepinephrine work. These chemicals help regulate focus, motivation, and self-control. In ADHD, those signals don't move as effectively between the parts of the brain that manage attention, organization, and impulse. Because of that, routine tasks like brushing teeth or starting homework don't trigger much motivation or reward. They just don't feel stimulating enough. But when something is exciting, interesting, or urgent, like a game, a challenge, or a topic they love, the brain releases more dopamine and focus clicks into place. So it's not that kids with ADHD won't focus. Their brain just needs more stimulation to turn that focus on. Medication can boost that signal. But here's the thing. First-line treatment, especially for young kids, isn't medication. It's behavior therapy. Behavior therapy is the backbone of ADHD management, whether your child is on medication or not. So what does that look like? Parents are taught simple strategies and kids are guided into structure. Instead of focusing on checklists or theories, it's about daily habits that make life smoother. For example, a parent might give one clear direction at a time, praise effort right away, and break big jobs into smaller steps. Over time, kids begin to expect the pattern, and that predictability helps their brain feel safe and organized. And here are a few key principles. Set specific, realistic goals with positive reinforcement. Hey, we're getting ready for bed in 10 minutes. Works better than you need to be better at bedtime. Provide consistent rewards and consequences. ADHD brains crave immediate feedback. Waiting until the end of the week for a sticker chart doesn't always land. It needs to happen in real time. Stick with it. ADHD isn't a quick fix condition. The brain learns through repetition and not reminders alone. And here's what most parents don't realize. Kids with ADHD often know what to do. They just struggle with doing it in the moment. It's not defiance, it's a delay in the brain's self-management system. That's why external structure, routines, visual reminders, clear expectations acts as a stand-in for the brain's internal structure until those skills and their brain grow with age. Without structure, an ADHD brain has trouble using coping tools. It's like giving a kid a toolbox, but no blueprint. They have the hammer and nails, but no idea what to build. And here's something that often shifts everything for parents. ADHD kids don't thrive under constant correction. They thrive with coaching. Instead of, why haven't you started your homework? Try, what's your first step here? Want me to sit with you for 5 minutes to get it going? Breaking tasks into initiation plus momentum helps them get over the hardest part, starting. Once they start, that dopamine can kick in and focus can follow. When parents shift from managing behavior to monitoring skills, everything can change. And sometimes medication becomes the secret sauce that lets kids actually use these strategies. It doesn't replace structure. It makes the brain more ready to respond to it. Another piece that often gets overlooked, emotional regulation, is a skill, not a given. Kids with ADHD need help naming what's happening in their body and mind. My brain feels jumpy right now, or this feels boring. That self-awareness builds metacognition and helps them separate who they are from what their brain is doing. And when things don't go well, reframe failure as feedback. Looks like that strategy didn't work. Want to try a new one? This keeps their brain in problem-solving mode instead of shame mode. And if you're nodding along thinking, I could use some structure too, hit subscribe. Consider it your positive reinforcement today. Now let's talk daily life. Structure at home is huge. Predictable routines act like GPS for an ADHD brain. Without them, kids get lost in the weeds. And here's why. ADHD brains struggle with something called executive function, the system that manages planning, organization, and time. External structure gives them what their internal wiring doesn't yet provide. Some practical tips parents can start with. Keep a predictable schedule. ADHD brains love patterns. They take decision-making off the table, which frees up energy for everything else. Limit distractions. Noise, clutter, and screens compete for dopamine. The less visual or auditory noise, the easier it is to stay on task. Keep spaces organized. Clear bins beat mystery piles because visual order equals mental order. Too much stuff equals instant overwhelm. Reward effort and not just outcomes. Every child thrives on feedback, including ADHD brains. Break tasks into smaller goals. Every mini success gives the brain a little dopamine boost and encouragement, which can build momentum for the next step. Keep tasks short. 15 minutes of focus, then a break. Fits how the ADHD brain's attention cycle naturally resets, and the time frame can depend on your child. Limit choices. Fewer options reduce that decision fatigue. Red shirt or blue shirt is regulation. Hey, what do you want to wear? Can be overload for their brain. Build in success. Confidence is fuel. When kids experience wins, it literally strengthens the reward system that helps drive motivation. And stay calm with discipline. Dysregulated adults cannot regulate a child. Calm responses model the control we want them to learn. Work with teachers. Consistency between home and school helps the brain predict what's coming. Predictability also lowers stress and improves focus. Use visual reminders. ADHD brains are external thinkers. Seeing the cue, a timer, chart, or sticky note, works better than remembering it. Prep transitions. A 5-minute warning gives the brain time to shift gears instead of slamming on the brakes. It's not just about having a routine, it's about building systems that take the pressure off memory and willpower. ADHD brains burn out on constant decision-making and thinking. So the more we can make life visual, predictable, and automatic, the easier it becomes for them to succeed. Use timers, color-coded bins, visual checklists, or music cues to signal transitions. These aren't crutches, they're scaffolding for brain growth. You're giving their brain the external structure it'll eventually learn to create on its own. And if you're thinking, wow, this sounds exhausting, you're right, it can be. But small, steady steps matter more than perfection. And maybe this is helping you if you have ADHD. Sleep, movement, and balanced nutrition matter more than people realize. Let's start with food. There's no diet that causes ADHD, and there's no diet that cures ADHD. But certain eating patterns can support focus and energy levels for all of us, including those with ADHD. A high-protein breakfast helps regulate blood sugar and keeps attention steady. Think eggs, yogurt, and nut butter toast. Skip the sugary cereals before school. Quick spikes and crashes in blood sugar can worsen irritability and focus issues for many children. Research shows that sugar doesn't cause ADHD, though a sugar rush can make any child temporarily more energetic. As for artificial dyes, a small group of kids may be more sensitive, especially those already prone to hyperactivity. The effect is modest, but for those children, limiting brightly colored processed snacks can make a noticeable difference, and that is a case-by-case basis. But I also question whether it's the dye or the fact that a lot of foods that have dye are also processed or ultra-processed. And we know that too much ultra-processed or processed food is not good for our gut and our emotions and mental health. So it comes down to diversifying their palate and introducing a variety of food. I'm not concerned about the random food dye here and there, but for your child, watch the impact certain foods may have on their behavior, and if you feel there's an absolute causation, you can just eliminate that food. And please be cautious of online claims about cutting out gluten, dairy, or detox supplements. Research doesn't support those for ADHD, and some can even lead to nutrient deficiencies or false hope. Movement helps too. Exercise acts like a natural dopamine booster. A short game of tag or a few minutes of jumping on a mini trampoline before school can sometimes do more than a long lecture on focus. Even quick movement breaks during homework can reset attention. One of the best kept secrets of ADHD: motivation isn't about discipline, it's about interest. When something feels exciting, meaningful, or novel, dopamine surges and focus can follow. So instead of fighting it, work with it. Let your child study spelling words while bouncing a ball, use topics they love as writing prompts, or rotate boring tasks with something that excites them. Again, this is smart neurochemistry involvement. And don't underestimate sleep. Poor sleep can make ADHD symptoms louder, more distractibility, more impulsivity, less regulation. And here's something many parents don't realize. Sleep problems can actually mimic ADHD. Kids who aren't sleeping enough or who have sleep apnea can show very similar symptoms like inattention, hyperactivity, or mood swings. So if your child snores heavily, seems unrested, or struggles to fall or stay asleep, talk to your clinician. Good sleep hygiene is key, but sometimes medical evaluation is just as important. So yes, lifestyle matters, but not because it replaces treatment. It strengthens the brain's foundation so other strategies like behavior therapy or medication work better. At schools, kids may qualify for an IEP or a 504 plan, and knowing the difference can matter. An IEP is an individualized education program. This is for students who need specialized instruction or educational goals in addition to accommodations. A 504 plan is for students who don't need specialized teaching but do need accommodations like extra time, movement breaks, or help staying organized to access learning on equal footing. These can include things like movement breaks, preferential seating, extended test time, or behavior plans. Schools may also offer support from specialists, resource teachers, school psychologists, or occupational therapists who help kids build attention, regulation, and executive function skills. But here's the hard reality. Our modern school system isn't built for neurodiverse brains. It's built around uniformity, kids sitting still, learning the same way, and being measured by the same yardstick. For many children with ADHD, that setup highlights their challenges instead of their strengths. Parents often need to advocate hard, attend meetings, and remind schools of their child's rights and development. Sometimes it's about giving kids permission to move, or resources or accommodations to support their development. This mismatch is one reason why some kids are on medication during the school year, but not in the summer. The goal isn't to make them fit into the system, it's to help them access learning in an environment that wasn't designed for how their brain works. And maybe that's the bigger conversation we need to have, that human beings learn differently. Until schools are ready to honor that truth, kids with ADHD will need the right mix of support, whether it's structure, advocacy, therapy, or medication, to level the playing field. Now here's where pediatricians and parents are frustrated. Behavior therapy is the gold standard, but access to resources isn't. Waitlists are long, insurance coverage is spotty, and the hoops for pre-authorizations make you want to scream into a pillow. Some families may even drive hours to see a specialist or get placed on waitlists that stretch for months, which can feel discouraging when your child needs help now. And remember what I said earlier, many parents of kids with ADHD also have it. So keeping track of all the logistics is, let's just say, a cruel irony. It often means missed calls, forgotten forms, and extra stress layered onto an already heavy load. So where does medication fit in? For some kids, behavior therapy, structure, and school support are enough. For many, medication is the missing puzzle piece that makes those other support systems work smoothly. And it doesn't always mean lifelong use. Some kids take meds into adulthood, others taper off as coping skills and executive function mature. For some families, medication is used only on school days, while others see benefits from steady use. The specific plan can be flexible and should be made with your child's clinician. The goal isn't to medicate every child, it's to help each child function at their best, reduce daily stress, and build confidence in who they are and how their brain works. Want the full scoop on ADHD meds? Subscribe so you don't miss my next video where I break it all down for you. And remember, parent regulation is treatment too. A consistent and grounded parent is one of the most powerful therapies for a child. Your predictability becomes their external executive function, the structure they borrow until theirs matures. So support for parents isn't selfish, it's essential. If you suspect your own ADHD or feel constantly depleted, get help too. When parents are regulated, kids can also regulate. So let's wrap up. ADHD treatment isn't one size fits all, it's layered: behavioral therapy, daily structure, lifestyle, school support, and sometimes medication. The goal is helping your child feel capable, supported, and understood. And remember, every child's ADHD looks a little different, and so will their treatment plan. Progress is measured in steps forward, not overnight leaps, and every step does count. If this video helped, hit that like button. It helps my channel more than you know. And subscribe, please subscribe for more practical parenting and child health videos. Think of it as one more piece of structure you can add to your routine. I'll catch you all next time. Stay well.